Chapter 4, Section 6, questions 1 and 2. So here we have systems of inequalities. If you remember, we've been covering systems of equations, which are you have 2 equations or 3 equations, and you're going to find out whether they're both true. Here we have inequalities. You'll remember from Chapter 3 we were graphing inequalities. We want to solve these for y. We've been solving for y since back in Chapter 2. We have a reminder that if you ever multiply or divide by a negative, you're going to have to switch that sign around. So therefore, as your loving yet evil math teachers, we are going to do that to you. Yay. And still solving. Yay. Aw, this time we're not dividing by a negative. Woo, careful. Do not flip that sign around. The x can go on the top or afterwards, but not on the bottom. We're going to graph both of these lines. So we have that one starting at -2 and going 2 over 3, up 2, right 3, make a dot, up 2, right 3, make a dot, down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3, down 2, left 3. Drawing our line, is it solid or dashed? So if we take a look at that, it does not have a bar underneath it. It is a dashed line. Notice how many dashes I have. I want to make sure that we have a dashed line. I've had some students who have a solid line with one tiny little bit missing somewhere in the middle. Nope, I need to be able to tell. Notice how I have some of my dashes out past the edges. Then I have y is greater than or equal to, so that's going to be a solid line starting at 4. -3 over 2, down 3, right 2, make a dot. Down 3, right 2, make a dot. Down 3, right 2, make a dot. Up 3, left 2, it goes off the edge. Lining up my straight edge. Holding it in place and drawing straight lines, slightly past the edges, arrows at both ends. Woohoo! Yeah! Now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to sketch this out up here so that you can see better what I'm doing. This dashed line is less than, which means it's going to be shaded down this way. This line here is greater than, so it's going to be shaded up this way. And we want to know where is it overlapping. It's overlapping in this section here. If you wanted to do a light shading here, you could look for the double shaded region, which is this part here on the right. And you're going to have to go, try not to cross either line, but also make sure that you go past things like the x-axis. Some students will keep it only below the x-axis, in which case it's so wrong. Chapter 4, Section 6, Question 3. You'll remember back in Chapter 3 at the end, we had a problem that looked like this. And I put that into the Chapter 3 material because of this question here in Chapter 4. We want to make sure that you've actually learned this in Chapter 2. You'll remember it in Chapter 3. So when we get to this in Chapter 4, you will be okay. So once again, I'm going to skip out on that little section up here. We're going to have the inside with change on here, and then the inside with no changes. Solving all of them. By doing it this way, all the work ends up being the same. That's where we'll make some of our lines, and then we'll end up with, oh my gosh, 2 more lines. We're going to have 4 lines on this. Change these and leave these. Solving. Hey, we're going to get 4 lines. Now, x equals, the x-axis goes this way, so boing, and x line will go the other way. Hey, all these have bars underneath them. They will all be solid lines. Thank goodness, because we're going to have a lot to do here. All right, so line 1. line 2. Y-axis goes this way, y equals goes the other way. Line 3 at -4, trying to hold it steady against a slippery whiteboard. So much easier on paper. And y is 2. Some students refer to this as a tic-tac-toe problem because it looks like tic-tac-toe. And therefore, because they think of tic-tac-toe, they shade it in like tic-tac-toe, and that is incorrect. So as we look at our handy-dandy tic-tac-toe board, if you have the absolute value of x is less than a number, and the absolute value of y is less than or equal to a number, remember that less than means go on the inside. So if it's inside the x's and inside the y's, it's inside of everything. That's where you would shade. If you have the absolute value of x and the absolute value of y, and you have greater than and greater than a number, it will be on the outsides and the outsides. It'll be on all of the outsides, which ends up being all 4 of the corners. If you have the absolute value of x and absolute value of y, if you have one of them less than and one of them greater than, this is where it gets tricky, and you'll see that that is what I've given you here, is one of these tricky ones. The x's are less than, the x's are in between the x lines, so it's somewhere in between here, and the y's are greater than. So it's inside the x lines and outside the y lines. And then if I switch these around, it is greater than the x's, it's outside of the x's and inside of the y's, it's here. So in none of these will we actually get a tic-tac-toe pattern, but this is all the insides, all the outsides, the inside top and bottom, and the inside left and right. If you were to lay these over each other, you would actually have an opportunity to shade in each of the 9 sections. So here we have x's are greater than, it's on the outside of the x lines, y are less than, it's inside of the y lines, and so we're going to have to stay here, staying inside the lines, staying inside the lines. Be careful, because these lines look a lot like the x-axis, some students will stop or they'll shade too far, they'll continue on to the y-axis. So make sure you know which are your lines and where to stop correctly. Chapter 4, Section 6, Question 4. The intersection of multiple graphs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 graphs. We're going to have to graph all 4 lines in order to get our answer. This is going to be fairly confusing. So this is already solved for x, this is already solved for y. I need to solve this one for y. Solving it! Yay! We've been solving it like this since back in Chapter 2, descending order by degree. Dividing. If you ever multiply or divide by a negative, you're going to have to flip that sign. So it goes from being a less than or equal to being a greater than or equal to. This one here, we have 3x plus 2y is less than or equal to 12. Solving. We are reviewing our Chapter 2 material. How wonderful. Also our Chapter 1, we're using our multiplicative inverses. We did not multiply or divide by a negative. So some students get confused because they see the negative on the top there. It's multiplying or dividing by a negative. So that would be if the bottom number here were negative. Now, our first line, x is greater than or equal to 0. Our x-axis goes this way, our x equals line goes this way. X equals 0, thank goodness. Notice all those have a solid line because they all have the or equal to. Y equals, the y-axis goes this way, a y equals line goes that way. Now let's take a brief moment to see, I just basically redrew my x and y axes. let's see what these tell us. If x is greater than 0, it's shaded on this side. If y is greater than 0, it's shaded on this side. The answer to our problem will only be shaded in quadrant 1. So if you have any shading in the other 3 areas, it's wrong. So we'll be shading here in quadrant 1. Now, I need to graph these. It starts off at -2. Hey, that's not in quadrant 1, but the line will probably end up being there. 2/3, up to right 3, make a dot, up to right 3, make a dot, down to left 3, down to left 3, down to left 3. I feel like this is Ms. Jordan's favorite line. I've had to graph it many times. Slightly past the edges. Woo. Arrows at both ends. Starting off at 6. -3/2, down 3, right 2, down 3, right 2, down 3, right 2. Notice that it's not going to cross nicely. That's okay, because we're just looking at the shading. Lining up my dots slightly past the edges. Straight edge. Arrows at both ends. Now, remember that we said it has to be in quadrant 1. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 places in quadrant 1 that we could possibly shade. So let's take a look at just these last 2 lines. We have our first line start off at -2, and it said greater than, so it would be shaded somewhere up here. The next line is less than, so it's coming down this way. Less than, it would be shaded somewhere down here. It's going to be shaded in this area here, which is double shaded. If you had shaded here and here, the double shaded region would be on the left, and it has to be in quadrant 1, so it's just this area right here. Is it always that area right there? No, it could be here, here, or here, but in this class, it's usually this one. Chapter 4, section 6, question 5. You'll remember back in chapter 3, we were graphing nonlinear equations back in 3.1. We then had nonlinear inequalities in 3.7. Now in 4.6, we're putting them together and seeing where the 2 graphs intersect with each other. T-tables are still appropriate. In chapter 8, we'll be trying to get you to graph them without the T-tables. If you can do them correctly now, great. Otherwise, we're still going to use our T-tables. So we have, starting off with 0. 0 squared is 0, times negative is still 0, plus 4 is 4. 1. 1 squared is 1, times negative is -1, plus 4 gives us 3. 2. 2 squared is 4, times negative is -4, plus 4 is 0. -1, we see that it works out the same way, we get 3. -2, we see that it works out the same, we get 0. Because of this cool pattern here, 0, 4. 1, 3, and the same thing on the other side. 2, 0, and the same thing on the other side. I see a lot of empty space down here. I feel like there's another point there. So I'm going to, again, go further. 3 squared is 9, times negative is -9, plus 4 is -5. And the same thing would happen here because of our really cool symmetrical pattern. So 3, -5, not using a straight edge, starting from here and going whee, and arrow, whee, past the edge and arrow. And then, I forgot to check, solid or dash. Thank goodness, this was supposed to be solid. And it says to shade less than. So as I sketch it out here, less than means it would be shaded down here. Now, we need to do the absolute value graph. Remember, absolute value looks like a V. So, we have 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0, minus 2 is -2. Absolute value of 1 is 1, minus 2 is -1. Absolute value of 2 is 2, minus 2 is 0. And we see that it will do the same thing on the negative side. Will it always do that? No, it's because there's nothing in there with the x's. That's why it does this. Now I could keep going, but 0, -2. We know that this is supposed to make a V shape, so we can actually keep going with the up one, right one pattern. And then here, as we go to this, the important thing is to make the T-table far enough so you can see where it bounces. You can't just assume where it bounces. And then, because they are straight, we do have to use a straight edge. Make sure not to go forever in both directions, because here is the point of the V called a vertex. And remember that this is a dashed line. So, dashy lines, dashy lines, dashy lines, dashy lines, dashy lines, dashy lines, dashy lines. Pass the edges so that we can see that they're dashed. Don't cross over each other. And starting from this vertex point at the bottom, dashy lines, dashy lines. That is not my best line. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Dashy line, dashy line, dashy line, dashy line, dashy line, dashy line, dashy line. Pass the edges. This one says greater than. So here's my dashed absolute value. Greater than would be shaded above. So here in the middle, that is where they overlap. So boink, 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 boink. Don't go past the edges of those. That would be the shaded region.